last minute to do an appreciation event for some babes. For some babes, and I asked her to just, wing it and do a guided meditation, and it was like truly a transformative morning for every single person in the room. So I knew from that point on that I wanted her to be more involved with our community and share her gift with everyone, because really what she has is truly a gift. So I'm just going to bring you up and let you share your journey.
Hi everyone. Okay, so my name is Jenna. My story is quite an interesting one. I am 29 years old and a two-time cancer survivor. So I'm really elated that Janine actually spoke to you guys about the importance of prevention. I'm the author of A Survivor Story and founder of Holistic Human Performance. So my journey started at 3.5 years old. I was diagnosed with leukemia, which is a form of blood cancer. That was a long and tough battle for me and my family. Near-death experience. However, it was a blessing because it brought me to this point. Years later, so my parents, also very holistic. I'm the oldest of 5. We all played sports, home-cooked meals, Italian family, very close. And my parents have had a family fitness business for over 35 years, so I just grew up in that environment. And with that, I started to learn, and I knew and understood the importance of prevention, exercise, meditation, nutrition, and really doing things that you enjoy in life from your soul perspective. So then, years later, I ended up going to college. I was running track and field at the time. It was my junior year. I was 20 years old. And I went to the health center one day. I had a migraine. She's like, all right, let's do sinuses, whatever. She gets to my thyroid, and I saw her face change. And I'm like, oh, what's that about? So I was an exercise science major. They don't teach you these things, right? They don't teach you about the thyroid. They don't teach you about your glands. Very surface level learning. She's like, I do not like what I'm feeling on your thyroid. You need to go do an ENT immediately. Now, I went to Ithaca College, which is upstate, so I went to Cayuga Medical Center. I ended up going down into the basement of the hospital to get a biopsy. This was 2 weeks before, yeah, it's not cute. 2 weeks before my state championship meet, so I was training for that, and I had finals. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't know what any of this means, but I'm just gonna do it. So get the biopsy. They're like, we think this is benign, but you definitely have to get this removed. I'm like, okay. So it ended up being a 4.3 centimeter nodule that was on my thyroid. Ended up being encapsulated. I did not know that it was cancer until after I had the surgery when they did the biopsies. So I went to Memorial Sloan Kettering. Actually, I have to preface this. So I went to the first doctor, and this is where you need to do your research. You must be your own patient advocate. I went to the doctor. He said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take out your whole thyroid. Mind you, I'm 20 years old. You're going to do radioactive iodine, and then you're going to go on Synthroid for the rest of your life. I'm like, that's not going to work for me. I got things to do, actually. And listen, this is not a lot of people would do that though. And the doctor, he was like, wait, what? I'm like, no. I'm going to see somebody else actually. He's like, oh, who are you going to see? I'm like, well, I'm going to see a doctor at Memorial Sloan Kettering, and his face changed. He's like, oh, who's the doctor? I told him, and he's like, oh, I studied under him. I'm like, well, I know my answer. I'm going to see him. So I went to go see that doctor. He's like, we're going to take out half the thyroid, no radioactive iodine, no Synthroid, just surgery. I'm like, all right, cool. In that moment with that first doctor, and this is where intuition, this is where your soulful self needs to take hold, my whole body cringed. My whole body and every single fiber of my being said, no, that is not going to work for you. And I listened to that. So you need to tap into your intuition. A lot of us are disconnected from here down. We don't embody health. We're not taught that. So that's what I do. I create health and wellness education, and I bring people through this process of really traumatic experiences. I hold space for them, and I'm like, okay, let's figure out your lifestyle. So after the surgery, it was really tough recovery. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. I ended up going back to school, finished up, hit personal records in track and field, graduated on time, exercise science, and then that is where the real learning began. I go into the real world. They're like, here you go, get out there in the real world, have fun. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's when I really started to learn. I started getting into holistic health. I became a Reiki practitioner. I became a nutrition coach. I already had the movement and fitness experience, and I combined all of those things. So that is what I bring to the people, where I hold space for them. I really help them on their health and wellness journeys. And know that you have options. Know that you don't need to listen to the doctor. I'm not saying not to listen, just open ears. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. Know that that is not your only option. You have other people to go to, like Janine. I didn't even know she did that. That was the first I heard her talk about it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to see her. So people like that, what I do, what Emerge does, what Vanessa does, what Mary does, these are the people you need to have in your corner and on your team, because you are not taught this. You are not taught this from a young age, and it starts in your environment, it starts in your family. And I'm so blessed to be in a family where health, fitness, wellness was #1 priority. Because anybody here, just out of curiosity, anyone go through cancer or know anybody? Kudos, girl. Or know anybody? Okay. It is a tough battle, and it's really scary, and you're in a sense of like life or death. And it's very traumatizing, and the survivorship is a true journey. That's a true healing journey, right? It's a true healing journey, and that is how I really help people. I hold space for them in that sense, where you don't need to just survive in life, you can thrive. It's your birthright, actually. You're born to thrive. I don't know why people think that they need to just hustle and grind and just like hit burnout until their health is completely depleted. If you don't have your health, you literally don't have anything. That is #1. So you need to make sure that you have people in your team and your own patient advocate. And basically, I just help clear out the white noise. I'm like, okay, maybe you should go get acupuncture. Maybe you should go see Janine. Maybe you should, let's work on your nutrition. Let's figure out what your lifestyle is like. What's your environment like? Do you have toxic people that are surrounding you? What's going on there? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, and this is what I help people with. So, you can find all of my information at holistichumanperformance.co. I help you in regards to fitness and nutrition, holistic health, meditation. So I basically break it down. There's 5 buckets. I call it the sacred connection method, which is what I'm writing my second book on. You have the sacred mental connection, the sacred physical connection, the sacred emotional connection, the sacred spiritual connection, and the sacred energetic connection. All 5, I call them buckets. Just think to yourself, which one of those buckets is empty and depleted? Which one of those buckets is overflowing? Because one trickles into the next. So you need to kind of analyze what's going on in your life and figure out these different buckets, and that is exactly what I help people with. So, thank you.